I can tell you this with absolute certainty. The difference between profitable and unprofitable traders isn't technical. It isn't about who has the better indicator, the faster computer, or the secret news source. It is entirely 100% psychological. Every single time you place a trade, you are stepping onto a battlefield. But the enemy isn't the market maker. The enemy isn't the hedge fund. The enemy is inside your own skull. You are fighting millions of years of evolutionary wiring that was designed to keep you alive in the jungle, but is designed to kill you in the financial markets. Your brain has a region called the amygdala. It is the ancient, primitive lizard brain. It only understands two things: threat and safety. It does not understand probabilities. It does not understand expected value. It does not understand risk-to-reward ratios. When a trade moves against you, when you see that red candle dropping, your amygdala fires exactly the same way as if a saber-toothed tiger were chasing you. It perceives a threat to your resources, your money, as a threat to your life. Stress hormones flood your system. Cortisol spikes. Adrenaline pumps. And here is the critical part: your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for logic, math, and rational decision-making, literally goes offline. It shuts down. You are trying to make complex financial decisions while being chemically impaired by your own survival instincts. This is why even the most intelligent people make seemingly insane decisions under pressure. They aren't stupid. They are hijacked. Let me share a story that illustrates this perfectly. I once knew a deep-sea diver. Let's call him Mark. Mark was highly intelligent. He was an engineer. He understood physics. He knew exactly how much oxygen was in his tank and how long it would last. On paper, he was the perfect diver. But one day, deep underwater, his air hose got snagged on a piece of coral. For a split second, the flow of air stopped. Now, the rational solution was simple. Reach back, untangle the hose, and resume breathing. Takes 10 seconds. But Mark didn't do that. His lizard brain took over. The amygdala screamed, "Suffocation! Death! Escape!" He panicked. He held his breath. The worst thing you can do. He kicked violently, burning up his remaining oxygen. And he shot straight for the surface. He ignored the decompression stops. He ignored the physics. He survived, but he got the bends so badly he ended up in a hyperbaric chamber for 3 days. Intelligence did not save him. Biology nearly killed him. This is exactly what happens to a trader during a drawdown. You have a plan. You know the math. You know you should cut the loss at 1%. But the trade moves against you. The air hose gets snagged. The lizard brain screams, "Loss! Pain! Fix it!" Instead of untangling the hose, cutting the loss, you panic. You hold your breath. Hold the loser. You struggle. Revenge trade. You shoot for the surface. Double down to break even. And you get the financial bends. You blow the account. Understanding this neurological reality is the first step to becoming a millionaire trader. You have to accept that you are fighting a war against your own biology. The professionals who consistently profit haven't eliminated these instincts. They are still human. But they have learned to work around them. They have built systems, rules, and protocols that act as a cage for the lizard brain. Discipline is not about being stronger than your emotions. It is about being smarter than your instincts. Chapter 1. The Mathematics of Survival, Risk Management. If biology is the problem, what is the solution? It starts with the most boring, unsexy, and absolutely critical topic in the world: risk management. I know, you didn't click this video to hear about position sizing. You want to hear about the secret strategy. But let me tell you something. There are no millionaire traders who are bad at risk management. None. Zero. There are plenty of broke traders who are great at technical analysis. But there are no rich traders who are reckless. The industry tries to sell you a fence. They sell you 100x returns. They sell you to the moon. But the game of trading is won on defense. Professional traders think in terms of risk-adjusted returns. They don't care how much money you made. They care how much risk you took to make it. They obsess over something called the Sharpe ratio. Essentially, how much reward are you getting per unit of danger? Let's look at the cold, hard mathematics of loss. This is the asymmetry of drawdown. If you lose 10% of your account, you need an 11% gain to break even. Not too bad. If you lose 20%, you need a 25% gain. Harder but doable. If you lose 50% of your account, you need a 100% gain just to get back to zero. If you lose 90% of your account, you need a 900% gain to break even. A 900% gain is a career-making run. It is a miracle. And you need that miracle just to get back to where you started. This is why institutional traders are absolutely obsessed with drawdown control. They know that once you fall into the deep hole, 50% plus, the math turns against you so violently that recovery is statistically impossible. Yet, what does the retail trader do? They size their positions based on greed. I feel good about this one. I'll bet 10%. I need to make rent this month. I'll leverage up. This is the equivalent of the diver cutting his own air hose to swim faster. It works for a minute. You feel fast. You feel powerful. And then you suffocate. Discipline in trading usually boils down to one simple thing: consistent position sizing. It is the discipline to risk 1% or 2% of your account on a trade, even when you are sure it will win. Especially when you are sure it will win. Here is the discipline challenge that trips up most traders. Managing success. It's easy to be disciplined when you are scared. But what about when you are winning? When you are up 20% for the month? Every instinct in your body wants to press the advantage. You feel hot. You feel smart. You feel like you have cracked the code. Your amygdala isn't screaming, "threat," anymore. Now your nucleus accumbens, the reward center, is screaming, "greed, more, now." This is precisely when disciplined risk management saves your life. The professionals I know often reduce their position sizes after a big winning streak. Why? Because they understand mean reversion. They know that a hot streak is often just statistical variance, luck, not a sudden jump in skill. They know that after a period of extreme performance, a period of underperformance is likely. So they play defense. They protect the gains. The amateur doubles his size after a win streak. He thinks, "I'm playing with the house's money." No, you are playing with your money. You just earned it. Don't give it back. The millionaire trader looks at his capital like a fortress. His primary job is to defend the walls. Making profit is secondary. If the fortress stands, you can always fight another day. If the fortress falls, the game is over. Chapter 2. The Tortoise Mindset. Consistency. So, if we play defense, how do we actually get rich? We have to change our definition of speed. The retail trading culture celebrates the home run, the screenshot of the 500% gain, the wallow trade that pays off, the account flipping challenge. This creates a culture of the hare. The hare sprints. He trades fast. He takes massive risks. He doubles his account in January. He feels like a god. Then he blows 60% of it in February. He feels like a loser. He makes it back in March. He loses it in April. At the end of the year, the hare is exhausted, stressed, and exactly where he started or broke. He ran 100 miles an hour just to stay in place. The millionaire trader is the tortoise. The tortoise is boring. He hits singles. He aims for 2R or 3R trades. He risks 1%. He doesn't have any 500% days. He doesn't have any exciting stories to tell at the bar. But he also doesn't have any blown accounts. He doesn't have sleepless nights. The tortoise understands the compound effect. Einstein called compounding the eighth wonder of the world. If you can make just a small, consistent return, let's say net positive a few percent a month, and you do not blow up, the math becomes exponential. Small edges, executed consistently over time, produce extraordinary results. But this requires the rarest commodity in the world: patience. Most people overestimate what they can do in a month and underestimate what they can do in a decade. They try to get rich in 30 days, and as a result, they stay broke for 10 years. Think about the tortoise mindset like a professional bricklayer. He doesn't try to build the whole wall in 1 hour. He lays one brick perfectly. Then he lays another brick perfectly. It's monotonous. It's repetitive. But if he does this every day, rain or shine, regardless of his mood, eventually he has a castle. The Hare tries to throw the bricks together as fast as possible. The wall looks impressive for a day, but the mortar is wet and the structure is weak. The first storm, market volatility, knocks it down. The discipline of the tortoise is the discipline of boredom. Can you sit on your hands when there is no trade? Can you take a small profit and walk away even when the market keeps going? Can you accept a losing day without trying to fix it immediately? The traders who blow up are usually the ones trying to force the market to pay them today. They are driven by urgency. I need this money now. The market smells urgency, and it punishes it. The tortoise has no urgency. He knows the market will be there tomorrow. He knows his edge works over 1,000 trades, not just this one. He plays the law of large numbers. He lets the probabilities work for him, rather than trying to force a result. This shift from getting rich quick to getting rich for sure is the hallmark of the professional. It is the difference between gambling and business. Gamblers want excitement. Business owners want predictability. Be the tortoise. Be boring. Be rich. We have established that your biology is trying to kill your account, and that patience is the key to wealth. But knowing this isn't enough. You cannot rely on willpower alone. Willpower is a battery. It drains throughout the day. If you have a stressful day at work, an argument with your spouse, or a bad night's sleep, your willpower battery is low. If you try to trade on low willpower, the lizard brain will win. It will overpower you. Discipline is not a character trait. It is system design. You need to engineer a trading environment where making the right decision is automatic, and making the wrong decision is difficult. I want you to think about an industrial steam boiler. If the pressure inside the boiler gets too high, it could explode and kill everyone in the factory. Do they rely on a human operator to watch a gauge 24/7 and manually turn a knob if it gets too hot? No, that would be insane. Humans get tired. Humans get distracted. They install a safety valve. It is a mechanical device. If pressure hits X, the valve opens. Steam releases. The boiler is safe. It doesn't think. It doesn't hope the pressure goes down. It just executes the law of physics. You need a safety valve for your trading. You cannot trust your brain to stop you when you are tilting. You need a hard external rule. The daily loss limit. This is your primary valve. If I lose 3% of my account in a single day, I am done. Not I'll take a break. Not I'll trade smaller. Done. You close the charts. You walk away. You do not touch the mouse until tomorrow. Many professional platforms allow you to hardcode this. You can set a max daily loss that locks your account if you hit it. Use it. It protects you from the diver in panic moment. When you are drowning, you can't save yourself. The safety valve saves you. The checklist. Another system design tool is the pre-flight checklist. Pilots don't just jump in a 747 and say, "Yeah, engines sound good. Let's go." They have a physical list. They check every switch, even if they have flown for 20 years. Why? Because routine breeds complacency, and complacency kills. Before you enter a trade, you must have a checklist. Is this a valid setup? Is the risk-reward at least 1:2? Is my position size correct for my portfolio heat? Is there high-impact news in the next hour? If you cannot check every box, you do not trade. This forces your prefrontal cortex logic to stay online. It slows down the impulsive lizard brain. The lizard brain wants to click buy now. The checklist forces a pause. That pause is where your discipline lives. Professional trading is procedure. It is following a script. If you are making gut calls, you are gambling. If you are following a checklist, you are executing a business plan. Chapter 4. Proactive Psychology, the fire drill. So you have your systems. You have your risk management. But the panic will still come. The fear will still hit you. How do you handle the emotion when it arrives? You prepare for it. Most traders are reactive. They wait for the market to punch them in the face, and then they try to figure out how to handle the pain. Oh no, it's dropping. What do I do? The millionaire trader is proactive. They have already lived through the loss before it happens. I want to introduce you to the concept of mental rehearsal, or the fire drill. Why do schools have fire drills? Because when a real fire happens, when there is smoke, heat, and screaming, human beings panic. They trample each other. They freeze. We practice the drill so that the right action, lining up and walking out, becomes muscle memory. We program the response into our bodies so we don't have to think. You need to run loss drills in your mind. Before you click buy, close your eyes. Visualize the trade hitting your stop loss. Visualize the money leaving your account. Visualize the frustration. Feel it. Accept it. If you can visualize that loss and stay calm, if you can say, yes, I accept that outcome, then you are ready to trade. But if the thought of that loss makes your stomach turn, if you can't bear it, then you are trading too big, or you aren't ready. This technique removes the shock factor. The amygdala fires when it is surprised by a threat. If you have already mentally accepted the loss, there is no surprise. There is no hijack. Oh, the price hit my stop? I expected that might happen. Protocol executed. This is emotional regulation. It isn't about suppressing emotions. Emotions are information. Fear tells you that your risk is too high, or you don't trust your edge. Greed tells you that you are impatient or unrealistic. Anger tells you that you have attached your ego to the trade. Don't ignore the emotions. Listen to them. They are dashboard warning lights. But do not let them drive the car. The fire drill ensures that when the warning light flashes, you don't jerk the steering wheel into a ditch. You calmly pull over and check the engine. We have covered biology, math, systems, and psychology. It all comes down to one final shift. The shift in identity. You have to stop grading yourself on your P&L. This is the hardest thing to do. Society tells us, make money equals good job. Lose money equals bad job. In trading, this is false. You can make a terrible, reckless trade and win money. Luck. You can make a perfect, disciplined trade and lose money. Variance. If you grade yourself on the money, you will reinforce bad habits, lucky wins, and punish good habits, discipline losses. You have to start grading yourself on execution. Did you follow the plan? Did you size correctly? Did you wait for the setup? Did you exit when the rules said exit? If the answer is yes and you lost money, that was a good trade. If the answer is no and you made money, that was a bad trade. This is the professional shift. It is the difference between a crash diet and a lifestyle. A crash diet, high-risk trading, works for 2 weeks. You lose weight fast. You make quick money. But you are starving. Your body rebels. Eventually, you binge eat, blow the account. You gain it all back. A lifestyle disciplined trading is slower. It isn't flashy, but it is sustainable. You can do it forever. You don't binge because you aren't starving yourself of security. You are fed by the confidence of your system. Trading is a career, not a lottery ticket. It is not a sprint to $1 million. It is a marathon of self-mastery. When you look at the charts tomorrow, remember the diver. Remember that your brain will try to sabotage you. Remember the tortoise. Remember that slow and steady wins the race. Remember the safety valve. Don't rely on your willpower. Rely on your rules. The market will always be there. It isn't going anywhere. The only question is, will you have the discipline to stay in the game long enough to win it? Build the system. Trust the math. Ignore the lizard. And welcome to the 1%.